Here we go. So it's the next day. I was exhausted, so I figured I'd do this another time. So this is basically where I'm at. So whenever I wire cars, everyone has their own way of doing it, but I like to kind of like loosely zip tie the wires I need that I'm going to loom together. So how I'm going to run this is I'm going to come all the way down here. And hold on, that's the wire I just did. So everything will be nice and loomed down here to the point, and then I'll be able to split it off with this. You get the idea. So right now, if you have an American Auto Wire kit for your car, you'll be familiar with the wires that I currently have sprawled out across this engine bay. So you can see this is how I wired. You can pause the video and see how I did this, or where I put that fuse box. So this brown wire right here is the white for the back of this alternator. So it's like key on, comes from the regulator itself. That's the wire I made earlier. That's heat shrunk and everything with the boot. That wire I'm talking about is going to go right here. And what I did was, well, Mark did it. When I wired the F100 and the Camaro, what we did was we bought these electrical connections. This is the company we bought them from. You pause your screen, whatever you need to do, screenshot that and look it up. These are heat shrink connectors. I'm not using a lot of the connectors that Painless gave us because these are much better quality. I've used these a ton. You can see how nicely that holds it all together. I mean, this is rock hard. And I use a heat gun whenever I put these together. I don't use a lighter or anything because I don't want to burn this, or, you know, I want it to look good. So that's where I'm at right now. What I need to do now is I just have this alternator. You see how I have it sitting up. I have it sitting like that so I can obviously see the back of it. But once the alternator is wired in, then I can start looking into grabbing some of our sensors and stuff for the Dakota Digital. So, yeah, there's a lot to do. So right now I'm just kind of focusing on getting the main wires ran on this engine. But anyone that needs to see this wire, and I mean the kit's cool. I'm not trying to dog it, but you can see like this is the ignition coil. I don't know if it'll focus in on there, whatever. But you get the idea. Everything's labeled the way it needs to go. You just need to figure out how to route all of it. Now, every wire is not pre-cut the way it needs to be, so it really just comes down to how good are you at figuring it out. I mean, they kind of give you the tools to figure it all out, like the templates and everything, but you need to make all your own stuff. So I highly suggest getting these wire connectors right here. Or there are tons of different sizes. I mean, you could see it's 10 gauge. I mean, it's, of course, I dropped it off my F100. Rest in peace. But anyways, I ordered another one. And for my looming, I believe this is 3/8. I'll get the part numbers. I'll put them in the description. But I got this, and then I got a bigger loom somewhere I actually used on my F100, and that's how I looped all my bigger wires. I mean, I just drove my truck to Daytona, and I didn't have a single problem with my looming getting messed up. I mean, if you use this cheap loom right here, I mean, dude, this stuff sucks. This is probably one of the worst looms they ever made. This is for like, I don't even know, whatever. But it works out really well. Make sure you get the kind that actually opens. Because this one right here, this is the one I just showed you guys. See if I can do this with one hand. I mean, it's really hard to open. But you could see, focus, see how it opens up like that? You can actually open these up and they self-close themselves. Meanwhile, there's other ones out there like this, which is basically the same thing. But you need to actually run the wire through this. You can't open it up and do it wherever you need to, and that makes it a huge pain. But we're getting there, as I always say in every single video I do, because we have a million projects, but it's one thing at a time. Hoping to have this car done by Run to the Sun. Back to it. Alright, so I think this is going to be the last part of this episode because I'm kind of at a stopping point tonight. As you can see, I got everything kind of mocked where it needs to go. That is for the coil. It's going to be somewhere over here. Got the wire end for the oil pressure sender. And then temp. Let's see, we got temp right here. This is the, that's temp, that's oil. And then this is the, oh, sorry, that's my arm. This is the electric choke, so I got everything kind of where it needs to sit. Cool. Well, I'll keep you guys in the loop. Mark, I'm doing my video, Mark. Look. Yeah, this is about everything for the engine, though. Look at him. Look at it.
I haven't through the house.
What do you think?
That looks great.
Looks good. Cool.